Hey, what's up? Hello, it's your astrology homegirl Q back with another astrological update for you. And this week we do have quite a few transits coming up for us, but most notably we have Pluto stationing to go retrograde, and we also cap off the week with a new moon in the sign of Taurus. Now, as always, if you like what you're hearing here, what you've learned, and you would like to connect with me one-on-one, if you're seeking some type of spiritual guidance or information, definitely check out the description box below. Click on the links to connect with me there. That being said, let's hop into these transits because there are quite a few that you're probably going to just want to know about. The energy is never more than what we can handle, especially when we're connecting to it intentionally and in community with one another. So let's hop in. Wednesday, May 1st, starting the month off strong, we have an Aquarius moon squaring the Taurus sun around 4:30 a.m. And this aspect definitely has the potentiality to bring up conflicts and issues around our needs for security and stability, which is very like Taurus in its nature, and our desire for innovation and freedom and independence, which is very Aquarius in nature. We're also finding early that morning that we might find ourselves feeling like corrective in our nature, like we're wanting to take corrective action around these realizations of missteps that we've recently taken or ways in which we've realized that our lives need serious adjustment. We are like, I gotta straighten this out. Like, I need to fix this now because like, what is going on? Like, this is how I've been moving. These are the decisions I've been making. Like, we're wanting to change, fix, rebuild, even, especially coming out of Mercury retrograde. It's just like, okay, let's take some action, like let's get her done here. So that morning, definitely lean into this wanting to take corrective action behind some of the things that we have mistakenly done. You know what I'm saying? Like, give yourself grace, but definitely take charge of like this opportunity, this energy that may be taking over us early that morning. It will be sometime around like mid-afternoon that we see the moon sextiling Mercury. It will indicate like an easier flow between the heart and the mind, which will really help with this as well. This aspect can help us communicate more effectively and make decisions that really more aligned with our emotions and our instincts, which is going to be really beautiful. As the night progresses on, though, do be aware that there's going to be like an electrical charge in the air. We're going to be quite like feeling kind of high off of these revelations and the corrective actions that we've been taking, and like this ability to communicate more effectively. Don't get too wrapped up into it that you don't realize that some of this energy is getting you too wound up, right? Around 11:05 p.m., the moon will square Uranus, and that's going to be the cause of some of this like really electrifying energy in the air. This aspect can create a fair amount of anxiety though, and make it a little hard to settle down for the night. So like, it's important to really find healthy ways to release this energy throughout the day, such as like physical activity or creative expression, to really avoid the restlessness and insomnia that might hit us later on that evening. Thursday, May 2nd, we do have quite a few transits really heightening the feeling of intensity and overwhelm for the day. We start the morning off early that morning, really still feeling the shaking remnants, the unsettling remnants of the moon Uranus square from the night previous. We then shift into a square with the moon and Jupiter, which is going to further heighten our feelings of like anxiety and overwhelm, physically, emotionally. Unfortunately, these aspects, when they come about, especially together back to back like this, they can create just like a shock to the nervous system, which is already trying to find regrounding, as these like things are happening and changing around us on a pretty consistent basis at this point, it may feel like. So definitely give yourself some time starting off early that morning. That square between the moon and Jupiter is around 2:30 a.m. So you might be waking up and kind of feeling the remnants of that. We do have Pluto stationing to go retrograde later that morning, really adding to this intensity as well. Pluto is going to be in retrograde for about 5 months. His retrograde period does last about 5 months long, and it is going to be a time of intense introspection and transformation. Pluto is the god of the underworld and definitely rules over the realms of the unconscious, really bringing to light the hidden aspects of ourselves and our lives. So during this retrograde, we might find that we are called to confront really really deep-seated issues that may have been buried or ignored for quite some time, and is going to be forcing us to differentiate between what belongs to the past and what is essential for our future growth moving forward. Now, Pluto's influence can be very intense and transformative, often bringing about crises or upheavals that act as catalysts for change. It really urges us to let go of old patterns and ways of being that don't serve us anymore. If they no longer serve us, you must distill it from your life. And it is encouraging us to embrace the change and the transformation that's going to be taking place over the next 5 months and really beyond, because the 5 months is going to be the introduction period of what needs to be distilled and let go, release, purge from your life. And then after that, you're going to see the benefits, the rebuilding of what's needed and what's been kept close, right? Because what's essential will stay and remain. Now, as the day does progress, the moon enters reclusive Pisces around 11:52 a.m., really tempting us to retreat and escape from the dramas playing out in the world. There's going to be a lot happening. You may want to turn your phone off, silence, your notifications, do not disturb everything and everybody. This ingress can really heighten our sensitivity and emotional depth to certain things that may be coming up, making us more prone to seeking solitude and further introspection. So definitely, again, start the day off easy, end the day off easy. It may just be a day of seclusion for a few of us, actually, for a little bit, is what is giving energetically. Friday, May 3rd, we do have more intense energy coming our way. We have a Mars sextile to Pluto at 2 degrees, and this is going to bring about this intense, passionate, fiery energy to go after what it is that we want with courage, with willpower and stamina, and a focused determination that is unwavering. We are wanting to rid ourselves of what is no longer serving us, and we're empowered and encouraged to do so with vigor. You know what I'm saying? With urgency, even. We may wake up and say, I am done. I am through. I'm no longer keeping these patterns, these habits of self-limiting beliefs, or allowing people to take from me, to receive from me, to pour into me things that do not serve me even. You know what I'm saying? We're wanting to cleanse, and we're feeling this fiery, focused determination to do so. And we're going to feel so rewarded in fulfilling the things that we know we need to for ourselves. This sextile between Mars and Pluto definitely gives us this hey, take the corrective action that you were pondering about on Monday. Yeah, let's implement some of these ideas, these theories that we've been kind of chewing over as far as what it means to change our lives in these ways. Now, later that afternoon, we are going to have transits and aspects that come up that have us second guessing ourselves a bit, or just stirring up a bit of confusion, testing some of the things that we have been feeling so strongly in our spirit just moments earlier even. We have the moon in Pisces conjuncting Saturn around 4:04 p.m., suggesting a need for emotional maturity and discipline, which could really lead to a sense of heaviness or restriction, self-limiting beliefs, like I said before, things that we might have been working on earlier that day even. We also have the Sun and Neptune in a semi-square to one another. This could further cloud our judgment and make it challenging to see things clearly. So it might be wise to exercise caution and delay making any long-term decisions at this time. Still use your power to distill and analyze what is not working for you and what you may need to get rid of in order to move on lighter, more holistically, but don't permanently start making moves just yet. Is what this energy is definitely suggesting. Now, Saturday, May 4th, we do have a bit of cooling down happening for us. We have the moon that has ingressed into the sign of Pisces, making sextile aspects to both Uranus around 1:30 a.m. and then Jupiter as well around 5 a.m. that morning. So both of these aspects vastly different from the squares that we experienced just earlier this week with these planets. These aspects are bringing much more dreamlike, imaginative, creative energy. It's going to be bringing us meaningful insights through our dream world. So definitely pay attention to images or symbols, omens that you're just kind of finding repeating themselves throughout that morning, even earlier that night as you go into your dream state. There's just like a lot of creative, imaginative energy happening here and messages that may be trying to come through to you. This energy is definitely going to be following you throughout the day. You may feel like you're kind of like in this dreamscape world. We have the moon conjuncting Neptune in the sign of Pisces around 12 p.m. And this is really just going to heighten again our sensitivity and our intuition. So definitely lean into any type of like introspective feelings of reflection that you're feeling, that you're just wanting to kind of go within yourself. And if you're feeling creative about it, definitely lean into this as well. Pisces energy, Neptune energy, we got the moon in the mix. There's just a lot of like emotionally creative, compassionate energy here that you can work with for that first half of the day. Now there is going to be a bit of a shift of gears once the moon enters impatient Aries around 1:41 p.m. that day. This ingress is going to set the tone for a much more energetic and assertive afternoon, especially with the moon sextile to forceful Pluto at like 5:07 p.m. and the conjunction with willful Mars around 7:17 p.m. So like energy, okay? We have Aries moon, we got Pluto, we have Mars in the mix. These aspects will for sure ensure that the latter half of the day is both energizing and eventful, really providing opportunities though for us to take decisive action. Again, really getting back into this mood of let's get it done. We see what needs to be done and let's take action behind it. We are pursuing our goals with passion. This is a season of goal pursuing. So if you feel the energy, the passion in the moment, take the action needed to move forward. You know, overall, Saturday is really going to be this like dynamic energy for like meaningful insights, then followed up with like passionate action. So very creative, very transformative energies to work with. Go forth with Saturday and be great is really the energy and the vibe for sure. Sunday, May 5th, we don't have a whole lot of like major transits that we're looking out for the majority of the day actually. The moon is still in the sign of Aries, so we're going to be feeling in our emotional state and like physical body this very passionate, assertive energy. Find something physical to get into, you know what I'm saying? Exert that energy that you're feeling empowered by. You may wake up feeling quite confident throughout the day to just like get things done, to lead and catalyze what it is that needs to be put forth into action. It's going to be great to work with on just like a very general level. It won't be until later that afternoon around like 10 and 11 p.m. that we start seeing the moon making aspects to other planets. Most notably, it'll be conjoining Mercury around 10 p.m. like I said. And then it will be conjuncting Chiron around 11:59 actually that night. Both could inspire, you know, forthright conversation about quite sensitive topics or issues despite the late hour in the day. These aspects can really encourage us to express our thoughts and feelings quite openly, especially regarding topics that previously may have been difficult for us to address and just like stand in front of honestly and transparently with others. So definitely take advantage of this opportunity to get anything you need off your chest that you may feel lightens your ability to trek forward towards your goals, because again, like I said, this week is very goal oriented. So take advantage of the opportunities that come our way. Will be helpful for sure. Monday, May 6th, we have a mixed bag of like energies happening for us here. Okay, we start the day off feeling like a strong need for physical activity. We have the moon conjoining Eris at about 6:36 a.m. So heading out the door, you might feel quite Energizer Bunny like. Definitely find a way to get some of that pent up energy out healthily, so that those who are engaging with you won't feel a little overwhelmed by your active energy, or like, you know, as a collective we could be feeling this. So definitely give other people a little space if you're finding that they're a bit tightly wound or just spilling over in their energy. This will be pretty consistent up until 2:42 p.m. We have the moon ingressing into the sign of Taurus, really bringing about peace, calm, stability. It's going to be quite lovely energy all the way up until about 6:08 p.m. when the moon is going to enter a square with Pluto, really destabilizing a lot of that peaceful energy. So any hopes of like a very cool, calm, and collected evening are kind of thrown out of the window, and we might feel quite frustrated as challenges and issues around deep-seated issues or concerns that we've had personally come up for us, and we're needing to face these things in order to heal through them. Now, despite the tension that's happening around this like very conflict-filled transit, we do see an opportunity for open and honest conversation. Mercury and Chiron will be conjunct in Aries later that night, and this alignment really encourages us to communicate openly and address any sensitive issues with compassion and understanding that we need in order to move forward. We also have a very patient sextile between the Sun and Saturn, really helping us stay calm and focused on finding more practical solutions to these issues that keep coming up for us. This aspect really offers like a sense of stability and perseverance, allowing us to navigate the challenges that keep coming up throughout the day, y'all. Like, it's going to be quite frustrating, but we're able to address these things with grace and determination, using and channeling these energies of the planets, right, throughout the day. So definitely, you know, stay grounded and open to the insights that arise for us this day, and, you know, make the most of the influences and the resolutions that we can find during this time. Monday's going to be pretty major. But Tuesday, oh, we got something for Tuesday too. Yeah, let's roll right into Tuesday, you know, speaking of it, actually. Tuesday, May 7th, we have a new moon in the sign of Taurus, really focusing in on stability, security, and loyalty. This lunar cycle is really emphasizing for us and encouraging this need, this wanting for engaging with other people, and also having a physical connection to symbols of like stability and security, whether that be personal possessions or external structures that bring this stability and security about in your life. There's going to be an intentional seeking and stabilizing of these known factors and resources for us. Taurus is a sign that is traditionally connected to the more pleasurable, beautiful aspects of life that are tied to our sensory experiences specifically. And we're finding during this time there is a heightened wanting or connection to certain people, places, and things that bring us these feelings of home, that bring us these feelings of security. And there's a direct line from our sensory experience to our feelings of survival on a very basic root level, like root chakra level. What we're experiencing soon as we're walking into buildings, what we're seeing, feeling, smelling, hearing, you know, when we're greeted by people, these will all be communicative factors that help us figure out whether or not we belong, whether or not this helps and supports us, if it brings us a sense of vitality. And if it does not, we are ready to leave and get out of there. That's the energy baseline, having the sun and the moon in the sign of Taurus. Now, we do have a lot of other aspects that we do want to be aware of when we are considering the energy of this new moon. We have the new moon in a conjunction with Uranus, really adding an element of unpredictability and the potentiality for change, like great change, which is again going to come in a bit of conflict with the sun and the moon striving for security, striving for stability. This destabilization of Uranus at play is going to create some tension and feelings of discomfort for sure. We may feel a process of detachment from situations or relationships that really no longer align with who we are and where we're heading. And Jupiter's conjunction with Uranus will further emphasize this feeling of freedom and awareness of wider choices available to us. Despite, you know, this feeling of security being jeopardized, we are feeling a push to do what it is that's necessary to get to a place of true security, true stability that is long lasting, that is not just a facade, if you will. Right now, Venus is going to be in conjunction with the moon, the sun, Uranus, and Jupiter, and this is going to highlight themes of attraction, love, rapport, right? So we are wanting to go after what we truly value. Venus being in its own sign is really also going to create some clarity around what it is that we're valuing and what it is that we're wanting and needing. We're going to want to treat other people kind because we're going to need kindness as well as we are shifting our loyalties. We're going to want understanding and grace as we're figuring out what structures of security we actually need based from what realizations we've had throughout this week. Overall, this new moon definitely brings a sense of building a fresh feel-good factor, even if that means leaving behind very difficult scenarios. The stellium in Taurus echoes themes of the Tower card and tarot, really signifying a necessary upheaval for more stable and secure futures for all of us. Changes may involve rebuilding and restructuring areas of our lives, but is going to be guided by a much larger and benevolent force, pushing us further towards protection and security, which we all have now refocused our values in. So that's the week. The new moon in Taurus is really going to shake things up, but it's going to recenter our needs around the things that truly bring us healthy stability, long-lasting security, and a sense of loyalty that is thorough and true. And I'm excited about it. So that's the week. Thank you again for joining me. I am so appreciative of you spending your time here with me, of investing in the community here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things. We so appreciate it here. And again, if you want to work with me one-on-one, definitely check out the description box below. I am always happy to hear from all of you out there as these experiences wash over your lives and you're impacted. It definitely does something for me in my life that we are able to share these moments of communication with the stars. As always, I'm excited and looking forward to meeting back with you all next week. That's the first week of May. We got it. We're going. And I will see you next week. Bye.